Hello, race fans, and welcome back to the More Freedom series. Today we have traveled to the California Speedway for the California 125. This is going to be race number 7 in the More Freedom series, season 6, and let's go through those current points. Your points leader is the 356 of Ice Cream Someday. Second's going to be the 61 of Chevy. Third will be the 29 of Wishbone Attack. Fourth will be the 799 of Mike Check. Fifth will be the 51 of AJM. Sixth will be the 3 of Geek Girl Games. Tied for 7th will be the 00 of Mudbone and the 300 of Resemble. Ninth will be the 13 of King of the Aces, and rounding out your top 10 will be the 88 of NM. Great to see Resemble up there in the top 10. Let's check in on those team and chassis standings. After a big week last week, your leader for the team standings is now Aces to Z Motorsports. Second will be G3 Motorsports. Third will be TPRG. Fourth will be MBR. And rounding out the top 5 will be the Drop Bear Racing Team. Chassis standings are Dodge, Toyota, and Chevy. So that's a look at all things points here for the California 125. Wait, right? Yeah, California 125. They're getting these cars dialed in, and I think it's about time. So let's go racing. As they get the cars fired up and out on the track, let's go through your starting lineup today. Starting on the pole will be the 999 of Deviant, and on his outside, the rookie, the 28 of E-Doggy. Starting third will be the 471 of Kung Fu Beer, and on his outside, the 96 of Nico. Starting fifth will be the 122 of Adam Victor, and on his outside, the 25 of JTM. Starting 7th will be the 29 of Wishbone Attack, and on his outside, the 42 of Mel Say What. Starting 9th will be the 50 of Candy May, and rounding out your top 10 will be the 666 of Pistol Pete. So, the Drop Bear Racing Team is lined up nose to tail, 1 and 3 here to start this race. We're going to see if Deviant can get it done this week. Had a great week last week. We'll see what he can do here. Well, he had a great week until we had that caution issues, and so we're going to see what he can get done here today at California. Home track for the 999 of Deviant. You guys got that In-N-Out Burger livery on there. So yeah, home track for the 999 of Deviant. He's going to try to get it done here today at the California Speedway, or maybe Auto Club Speedway, depending on how you're feeling. Also, home track for the 471 of KFB, so a couple of California boys right there trying to get it done for their team, the Drop Bear Racing Team, as that beautiful orange and black Dodge Challenger pace car is in. We're waiting on the starter's decision. The green flag is out. We are underway here at California for the California 125. We saw KFB jump down to the inside already, trying to work to the bottom of the track on the 999. His teammate, they're going to get the cars fired up. They're coming off of turn number 2 right now. So Deviant 3 wide, almost a little bit 3 wide. We got pushing down at the bottom of the 471 and the 122. Deviant coming down, slams the door on his teammate right there. So Deviant trying to lead lap number 1. He's going to slide to the middle line here. Get a great run off of turn number 4. Down onto the front stretch he goes. Cross the line. He's going to be your leader for lap number 1. Let's bring up that timing and scoring. As always, top 10 will be on your left. Favorite driver scrolling across the top as KFB slides to the high line right there. The 122 of Adam Victor, who was almost the winner last week if he hadn't ran out of fuel, works his way into the second position, but here comes the 88 of NM, currently 10th in the points right now. Looking for a good run here today. Here comes Chevy in the 61 for the TPRG. He's got a little bit of contention right now by the 11, and now the 72. They're going to make it 4 wide into turn number 1. Duchess down to the bottom of the track. She's working underneath the 11 of TC Roberts. Onto the backstretch they go. High speed affair here today at California. Fastest lap of the day is by the 95, the Pink Panther. The 95 of Zed Brunna. Currently 193 miles per hour as we now see the 300 of Resemble working into the picture. So the Drop Bear Racing team with a great package here today. KFB sliding back a little bit, stuck in the middle right there as they work into one. See Harvey working to the inside of the 300 here. He's going to try to get to the bottom as we see the 95 of Zed Brunna. In an altercation last week with his teammate, the 13 of King of the Aces, I think that was last week. The week prior, Zed had pushed Coda to the win of that race. So he's trying to get back on the proverbial track here this week as he's now worked himself into the top 10. Zed starting today's race back in the... Where did Zed start at? Goodness, 29th here today. As he has now worked himself into the 6th position here. Battling with the 33 of Harvey Jones as we see the 72 of Duchess working down to the inside of the 122 of Adam Victor. Two-car breakaway at the front of this field between the 88 of NM and the 999 of Deviant. So Deviant's led the whole way here so far as he's got NM knocking on his back door as Duchess is going to lose the draft right there. AJM doesn't go with him, decides to go with the 122 as we now see the 88 of NM taking over the top position here from the 999 of Deviant. So would you look at that? NM coming up from the 10th, the 11th starting position, worked his way to the front of the field, has taken over the lead from the 999 of Deviant now. So NM now leads the way over the 999. Third is going to be that 122 of Adam Victor as they battle for the lead here on lap number 6. Jump back through the field as we see the 33 of Harvey Jones and the mini checks right there working together. They're going to work to the inside of the 95, the Pink Panther. So the Cheerwine Dodge for RP Racing with Harvey Jones behind the wheel. The number 33 is working down to the inside of the 51 of AJM. The mini checks dropping down to the inside. They had a great run through the tri-oval. So the mini checks now down to the bottom of the track. They started today's race. Let's see where they started at today. They started back in 28th. They are now into the top 10 with the help of their teammate, the 300 of Resemble, going to try to work around the 33 of Harvey Jones here. So again, the Drop Bear Racing team has just had an absolute wonderful year this year. I mean, it doesn't show it in the points. Currently running 5th, but they've had some great runs. Just bad luck is what I would say, as the 72 of Duchess down to the inside of the 122 of Adam Victor. So Duchess, the only driver for Douche Motorsports this season, tries to get around, does not have that draft on the 122. So she's not going to be able to make that pass on the backstretch. She gets back in line here, working on the battle for the third, fourth, and fifth right now between the 122 of Adam Victor, 72 of Duchess, and the 51 of AJM. We're going to see if AJM goes with whom here. He's kind of stayed in the middle. He's working down to the bottom of the track now. He's trying to get to the back bumper of that 72 of Duchess. So AJM may be staying in the high line here. He's kind of a little bit too close. He runs to the high side as Adam Victor tries to cut off the 72 of Duchess here. That's going to allow the 67 of the mini checks to get into the picture here as they are trying to catch the back bumper of that 72. AJM on the outside working on taking away the 4th position here. Again, battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and on back right now here at California. This 125 current leader still the 88 of NM. He's just about a half car length right now over the 999 of Deviant. I feel like Deviant kind of lying in wait right now, waiting for a mistake by the 88 of NM. As NM has now led the most laps at 6, with Deviant having led 5 right now. We're checked back in on the battle for the third position now, as AJM thought about getting down to the inside of the 72 of Duchess, didn't have enough oomph under his car right there. He's going to try to give Duchess a little bit of push down the backstretch here as they stay to the low side. We are now into the pit stop window as we see Deviant in. The 88 of NM out one more lap here, so that is 12 laps so far for the 88 of NM. We've got 63 laps of hopefully green flag action here today. So NM still out to the front of this race. He's got a little bit of a gap, about a 1.2 second gap right now over the mini checks as they are battling with their teammate, the 300 of Resemble. We're going to see if Resemble and the rest of the crew jumping into the pits. Looks like they're hard on the brakes right now into the pits. 660 of Garrett Miller in. NM is in. Looks like the 544, Frederick Winklebaum, staying out for a lap. Frederick's going to get that 1 lap lead. Listen, lap here, lap there. 5 bonus points for Frederick coming. He's going to take over the lead from the 88 of NM. So that means NM went, let's say, 13 laps. And Frederick is now on lap 14. You know, a lap here, there, at the end of this race could make a huge bit of difference, as we saw last week when Adam Victor had a pit with 2 laps to go. Ended up, I think he was a lap down. Him and the mini checks, I thought they were going to pull off a miracle right there at the end, but ended up finishing way back in the pack as a result. So we're going to watch Frederick into the pits here. He might have been almost the last person to stop. Not sure. He's got right side tires going on. The Dunkin' Donuts Dodge for RP Racing. Got that lovely Highway Patrol livery honoring the police out there, as always, for the 544. So Frederick down and away as we see the 88 of NM and the 999 of Deviant battle here. So Frederick still coming out of the pits, as we see on the left-hand side there, the rest of the pack. So it looks like Deviant's going to take over the lead here from the 88 of NM. So the Drop Bear Racing team back out to the front of this field, but we see the 33 of Harvey Jones for RP Racing, teammate to that 544, Frederick Winklebaum, now dropping down to the bottom of the track. He's going to try to take away second position from the 88 of NM here. See NM's teammate, 51 of AJM, lurking in the background as Harvey has taken over the second position now. Harvey looking for a good race this week. He's currently running 21st in the points. Checking in AJM, currently 5th. So he's also looking for a good week. Not sure if the tires on that 88 what's up with those. He definitely looks a little bit slower than he did in the early going there. So Deviant's going to get another lap led as the 88 and the 51 battle here. As of late, that 122 of Adam Victor, who gets the door shut on him by the 51 of AJM. Adam Victor has actually been like a driving force for DM Motorworks this season. Well, at least in the last couple races, currently runs 22nd in the points. His teammates are 25th, and let's see where Dash is, 26th. So he is the leader right now for DM Motorworks, is that 122 of Adam Victor. I know he is. I can't imagine the disappointment he had last week at the end of that race, as we see the 33 of Harvey Jones working now down to the inside of the 999 of Deviant. Harvey's trying to win that one race a year that he always wins, and we'll see if he can do it here today at California. He drives it hard down into turn number 3. Down to the bottom of the track goes the 33 of Harvey Jones. We'll see what he has on the front stretch, see if the 51 can give him some help here. AJM might be too far back, but it looks like the 88 of NM might be trying to get a little bit of the draft here on the 999 of Deviant. Looks like NM's probably going to lose that spot to the 122 of Adam Victor. AJM jumps up there with his teammate, trying to get back down to the bottoms. The 88 of NM, he's going to make it 3 wide right now. So 3 wide for the 3rd position as we see the 33 of Harvey Jones and the 999 of Deviant still battling off of turn 4 onto the front stretch. Deviant still leading the way on that lap as Harvey may have to jump into the back there behind him. Deviant with a great line through 1 and 2. Harvey hard off the turn, power down as we work down the backstretch here at California. 2 wide, back to the 6th position right now. I think Deviant's line through 3 and 4 might be a little bit better than Harvey's line through 3 and 4. That's allowing Deviant to stay to the top of the track and actually get a better run. We're going to see who's going to lead at this sled. It's going to be Deviant again. So Deviant with the better line through 3 and 4. Harvey's got him in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, that run off of 4 is allowing Deviant to stay out here as Harvey now, with that great run through 1 and 2, is able to get around the 999 of Deviant. Looks like the 88 of NM sneaks into the 3rd position right there in front of the 122 of Adam Victor. We're going to see what the 51 of AJM does here. He is battling now for the 5th position with the 300 of Resemble as Harvey now out to the lead. NM jumps down to the inside of the 999 of Deviant. Deviant with a great run off of turn number 2, coming down to the backstretch, heading into turn number 3. We're going to see if Adam can work around the outside here. As the 300 goes high, he jumps down to the bottom. He's going to try to get a run with the 88 of NM here. NM pushing hard into turn number 1. 3 wide into turn number 1. NM might have had, I think Adam had to let off there. We got a little squirrely off of the turn as NM now works in front of the 122 as we have a battle for the lead between the 999 of Deviant and the 33 of Harvey Jones. Getting a little parched right there in the booth. Get a hit of that Alani energy drink, hashtag not sponsored, but I'm open. Deviant down into turn number 1 here. He is trying to take away the lead from the 33 of Harvey Jones as the 88 of NM trying to mount a comeback, trying to work himself back up to the lead of this race. Nothing doing for the 88 of NM, takes over the 3rd spot. Here comes his teammate, the 51 of AJM. I think we are closing in right now. We're about 10 laps from the last go-round on the pit stop. So, what was it, 12 laps, 13 laps, 14 laps? Fastest lap of the day is by the 51 of AJM at 194 miles per hour as they work down the backstretch. We see the 33 of Harvey Jones working to the back bumper of the 999 of Deviant. Again, pit stop window is open here. I think we're 10 laps in. NM to the outside. He's going to take over the lead. 999 of Deviant into the pits. He's going to be followed by a host of other drivers, including the 51, the 122, the 72, the 33, and now the 47 of Dash, who comes into the pits running in the 11th position. So Dash making his way up from some point in the race field. He has made his way up from there. Duchess started 27th. Dash started 21st here today. As we see the rundown in the pits for the 999 of Deviant. We're going to watch what they do here for the Drop Bear Racing team. We got right side tires going on as we see the 42 of Mel Say What in. There goes the 544, Frederick Winklebaum. He's going to take over the lead as the left side tires going on that 999. Fuel going in. He's down. He's away. He's getting out in front of the 122 of Adam Victor and the 51 of AJM. Seeing the 3 of Geek Girl Games poking her head in there. 47 of Dash, 72 of Duchess there. So the 122 of Adam Victor with a great pit stop again here today at California, just showing what kind of people that DM Motorworks has hired over the off season. And they have absolutely been killing it this year with their pit stops. As you see, I mean, the 47 of Dash up there at the front, 122 up there at the front. Here comes 51 of AJM. He's going to get a run on the 122 as they get their cars fired up here. Host of cars jumping out of the pits right now. Was that some damage on the left side or the right side? No, it was not. So the 88 of NM may have had an even better pit stop than these other drivers, as he is now, I think, out to the front of this field. 544 Frederick Winklebaum into the pits. It looks like Frederick might have lost a little bit of oomph under his car after those pit stops, falling back there. As the 88 of NM, I think he's actually not quite the leader yet, I don't think. I think Frederick may have still been leading the way. As now the 51 of AJM to the bottom of the track. He's going to take over the lead, I think, from the 300 of Resemble here. Battle for the lead here at California on lap number 28. Getting close to that halfway point. About 35 laps to go. As Resemble works to the outside. Couple dodges down to the inside. There's the 660 of Garrett Miller. Garrett started today's race back in the 14th position. And listen, if I haven't mentioned it, Resemble started way back in 31st as here comes Frederick out of the pits. So an awesome day so far for the 300 of Resemble. He has absolutely driven that car to the front of this field and has had some fantastic pit stops by the Drop Bear Racing team. I mean, Drop Bear has, again, for them, currently running 5th in the points with their 4 drivers. No, they've got 5 now, 5 drivers. And running up here at the front at California. So the 999, the 300, we had KFB starting up at the front of the field. Unfortunately, Mike Check started 36th here today. He actually has now made his way up to currently running in the 9th position. So, I mean, what else could you say about the Drop Bear Racing team? They actually have just put on a great package here this week. Mini Checks have fallen back to 20th. KFB in 18th right now. But your leader on the track is that 300 of Resemble. Looks like the 51 of AJM. As we saw, look at that beautiful orange and black Dodge Challenger pace car. Looked like AJM was going to try to make a pass on the 660 of Garrett Miller. Garrett having a better season this season, currently running 16th in the points. As we all know, if we followed along with the More Freedom series over the last 5-6 seasons, Garrett has had a fantastic car in the 5 previous seasons and has just had the worst luck of any driver, I would say. He currently, let's check on his career stats, has 2 wins, 23 top 5s, 38 top 10s. 1 pole position, 9 DNS for his career, and has just been caught up in so much stuff and, you know, finishing second, 38 top 10s is actually a great number. Only 2 wins, though, and I remember multiple races where Garrett would be leading or second place, and issues in the pits, things like that have just had dropped him back. But great to see that how well he's doing here today at California, running right there, second place behind your leader, the 300 of Resemble, as we have a battle for the third position between the 88, the 51, and the 122. '88 of NM right there, pushing his teammate and son, the 51 of AJM. Keeping himself in the third position as we see Frederick now battling with the 799 of Mychek. So Frederick has now got his car wound up here at California. He's now into the 9th position right there in front of the 47 of Dash. So Mychek, who again started today's race dead last, has now worked himself up to the front of this field with his other teammates, the 300, the 99, and the 999. The Manicheks and KFB still running back there in 18th and 19th right now. We'll see if we can catch up to them. Oh, there's the 50 of Canny May. Started today's race in 9th. Has had a rough season this season. I think she's got like 4 DNFs. So she is trying with her teammate and car owner, the 777 of Seabass right now, trying to work to the front of this field. There's last week's winner, the 12 of Xander. There's KFB and the Manicheks running right here in 18th and 19th. They're trying to catch up to the 33 of Harvey Jones, who has fallen off here. So Harvey has fallen way back after that latest pit stop, as we see the 88 of NM battling right now with the 122 of Adam Victor for the 4th position. Crossing the halfway mark here, your leader at halfway will have been the 300 of Resemble. So Rye's able to lead halfway here at California. Right there in front of the 660 of Garrett Miller, who runs in second. Third right now will be the 51 of AJM. Fourth will be the 88 of NM. Fifth will be the 122 of Adam Victor. Sixth will be the 999 of Deviant. Seventh will be the 3 of Geek Girl Games. Eighth will be the 799 of Mychek. Ninth will be the 544 of Frederick Winklebaum. And running out your top 10, the 47 of Dash. So great run today for a bunch of these drivers, as Adam still, he's trying his best to get down to the inside of that 88 of NM. He's not going to have a great run off of turn 4. We're going to see the 999 of Deviant, who has a fantastic car through 3 and 4. He's able to work to the outside here as G3 works to his back bumper. Adam able to retain his spot, jumps there in front of the 999 as we see Frederick work to the outside and around all of those cars as possible pit stops here. So pit stops happening again as we'll watch the 660 of Garrett Miller take over the front of this field here. So with 25 laps to go, looks like it's about, I don't know, 13 laps of fuel. So everybody's got one more pit stop here at California. And honestly, you know, one more pit stop for everybody. They're not going to have to take as much fuel as they can put in. And as we see Garrett and NM jump off the banking into the pits, let's follow along with that 544 Frederick Winklebaum. He is now one more lap than everybody else. So like I was saying is that they got one more stop coming, and Frederick right now is, I think, 2 laps more than some of these other people. So he's one more lap than the 88 and the 660. He's 2 laps more than the 300 of Resemble. So we'll see if he dives into the pits here, if he keeps it out for another lap. So he's going to dive into the pits here, hear him off the gas, which means that Frederick is going to have to put in 3 laps less of fuel than the 300 of Resemble. So if they went 4 tires and fuel, he's almost down and away once they get that 4th tire put on. He could also be that they go 2 tires and fuel, which would give him a huge gap over the next position. So it is going to be some gamemanship here as they go 4 tires and fuel on the 544 Frederick Winklebaum. We'll see what they can get him out of these pits at. Like I said, they've got 1 pit stop to go. So they could short fuel here and potentially get him out, get him going. Or they could put in as much fuel as they can. So he's got the hammer down right now in the Dunkin' Donuts Domino's Dodge for RP Racing. Right now he's coming out in, it looks like, the 3rd position. So we'll jump through your current top 10 right now. Your leader is going to be the 300 of Resemble. Second's going to be the 660 of Garrett Miller. Third will be the 51 of AJM. Fourth will be the 544 of Frederick Winklebaum. Fifth will be the 88 of NM. Sixth will be the 3 of Geek Girl Games. Seventh will be the 799 of Mike Check. Eighth will be the 50 of Candy May. Ninth will be the 72 of Duchess. And currently rounding out your top 10 will be the 29 of Wishbone Attack. So Wishbone making his way back into the top 10. Started 7th here today. Fell back. It looks like haven't really talked about him that much, so he has fallen back, but he's now back into the top 10 as we see Deviant has now fallen back to at least the 13th position, I think. 14th now for the 999 of Deviant. We're going to see if he can work back out to the front of this field, as it is a breakaway for the 300 of Resemble. I anticipate that Resemble is going to probably come in on, I don't know. They came in on lap, I don't even know. I don't even remember now. So let's add maybe lap 53. Maybe lap 51. Maybe lap 53. I'm going to call it 51 to 53 for his pit stop. And we're going to see if, like I said, so they all can go the distance on this next pit stop. The deal is that Frederick's not going to have to put as much fuel in as everybody else. So Frederick, with his extra 3 laps of fuel, he could potentially stay out 3 extra laps. He could come in when everybody else does and put in 3 less laps of fuel than everybody. Actually, no, because, yeah, he could stay out 3 extra laps, or he could come in and put in less fuel. Either way, he's putting in less fuel to finish this race. So I think right now, provided that nothing happens, the 544 Frederick Winklebaum has a great run here at the end of this race to potentially win here at California. As we see 4-car breakaway, kind of a 2-2, but a 4-car breakaway at the front of this field between the 51. Let's start at the front, the 300, the 660, the 51, and the 544. We'll jump back here as I was like, are they going in the pits already? No, Frederick working to the outside right there, I think, of the 51. Great line so far for Frederick, kind of coasting through that turn, I think. So we'll see what he can do. NM just out here by himself right now as a huge battle is brewing back here behind him between the 50, the 799, the 29, and a host of other drivers. Again, Candy May currently running last in the points. 4 DNFs this year out of the first 6 races, so she is definitely looking to have a better race here today at California. So So she works down to the inside of the 3 of Geek Girl Games. As Frederick still running right there behind the 51 of AJM, still status quo at the front of this field. NM still way out here by himself as the 50 down to the inside. She's going to get some help by the 799 of Mike Check. She's going to work around the 3 of Geek Girl Games here. He's going to get some help by the 29 of Wishbone Attack. So Wishbone, I think, might be making it 3 wide here between himself, the 799. Ooh, very close right there. Having to get out of the gas is the 72 of Duchess. So Duchess out of the gas right there, or it could have been a huge melee here between the 799 and the 72. Working down into turn number 1, we see the 50 now working down to the inside of the 88 of NM. So Canny May trying to work to the front of this field. Right now, they're about 3 seconds behind that lead 4, as they are all 4 just... Frederick is like, listen, I got to get to the front of this field as fast as I can. I can't be lollygagging back here. He's done cleaning road signs. He's ready to get to the front. He's trying to clean up this race. That was terrible, and I apologize. He is working to the front as hard as he can right now. So Frederick takes over the 3rd position here, as the 50 of Candy May now into the 5th position. And M's car, I mean, he's had a strong car all day, but he's going to have to get the hammer down. Working lap number 50, we see pit stops happening, folks. So pit stops are happening here at California. When I say it's going to be close at the end, it's going to be close at the end. We got the 300 of Resemble into the pits. 660 of Garrett Miller staying out. We'll see if Garrett stays out another lap or if he dives into the pits. Looks like he might be off the gas here. Must have waved to the 544. It looks like he's going to dive into the pits. Here comes the 51 of AJM. We're going to follow along with the 660 of Garrett Miller. See what they have in store. They've got to put all the fuel they can into this car. Fastest lap of the day now by the 12 of Xander, 194.9 miles per hour. So Garrett into his pits. Right side tires going on. The UPS Dodge for Amish Buggy Racing. Fuel going in as much as they can pack into that car. Looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop here for the 660 of Garrett Miller. Out of his pits, he's down and he's away. See what he can do, get out of this pits without having to slow down. Mudbone doesn't hold him up. He's down on pit road here. There's the 50 of Canny May. She's down on the way. AJM is out. There's the 300 of Resemble. So your leader's still going to be that 544 Frederick Winklebaum. We'll see if we can catch up to Winkle here. I don't even know where Winkle is at this point. He could be anywhere. There he is. We found him. So Winkle, I think, is already down and away. So this could be a huge deal right now as they're about to cross the start-finish line. Garrett out to the front in front of the 300 of Resemble, but that 544 Frederick Winklebaum again with a fantastic pit strategy, fantastic gas mileage so far here today. He may not be able to do it. He's going to jump up. Let's see if he cuts out in front of the 660. He's not going to be... Listen, he had the chance to cut the 660 off, and the 544 Frederick Winklebaum chose to not have the violence here today. He still has a fantastic car, but your leader is now the 660 of Garrett Miller for Amish Buggy Racing. And the UPS Dude Wipes Dodge, the 660 of Garrett Miller for Amish Buggy Racing out to the lead here. Let's go through your current top 10 after the final pit stop here. Your leader is the 660. Second's going to be right now the 544 Frederick Winklebaum. Third will be the 300 of Resemble. Fourth will be the 51 of AJM. Fifth will be the 3 of Geek Girl Games. Sixth will be the 29 of Wishbone Attack. Seventh will be the 88 of NM. Eighth will be the 47 of Dash. Ninth will be last week's winner, the 12 of Xander. And rounding out your top 10 right now will be the 72 of Duchess. Checking out on some of your early front runners. Looks like the 471 back to 29th. Mini checks back to 25th. Deviant running in 16th right now. Adam Victor back to 15th. Catching back up to the front of this field as laps winding down here at California as the 544 Frederick Winklebaum trying to win the race here today at California after starting today's race back in 24th. Garrett starting 14th, Resemble starting 31st. So they have all three had a fantastic race here today as Garrett is in a battle with the 544 Frederick Winklebaum. 300 of Resemble works to the bottom of the track here. So Resemble playing the odds, works to the bottom of the track with Frederick, top of the track with Garrett down the backstretch. Frederick's going to stay down to the inside. Garrett's going to have a middle run through 3 and 4. Looks like he might get a great run off of 4 here. To the outside wall he goes. He's going to stay out to the lead. Resemble thinking about making it 3 wide right now, which could be good for... That's actually going to be good for the 544 Frederick Winklebaum. Resemble making it 3 wide with all three with these drivers allows Frederick to take over that top position. Garrett says, hold up, we're not done here yet. He's down to the bottom of the track in front of the 300. So the 544 Frederick Winklebaum, not to be outdone, now out to the front of this race. Garrett is pushing that 660 as hard as he can go. Here comes a 51 of AJM, the Alp Dodge for MBR. So Frederick out to the front of this race with about 4 laps to go. Battle on the track for the 3rd position between Resemble and AJM here. Resemble having led 18 laps on the day. Most laps led at halfway. He's in line for 15 bonus points. He's going to fall back to the 4th position. We'll jump back here as we see the 88 and the 29 now into the 5th and 6th position. So MBR in line for a heck of a day here. If this race ends about the way it does right now, as the leader on the track still that 544 Frederick Winklebaum. Laps winding down here at California. Fantastic pit stop strategy here today. Fantastic gas mileage for that 544 Frederick Winklebaum. Unfortunately, his teammate, the 33 of Harvey Jones, has fallen way back to 15th. As Harvey ran up there at the front of this field early going before halfway. So Frederick has, again, put on a fantastic race here today for RP Racing. He is trying his darndest right now to stay in front of the 660 of Garrett Miller, who, how many times is, like we've watched, and I can't say it enough, is that we've watched Garrett run fantastic races over his career and ends up finishing 2nd. As I think we're going to get 2 laps to go here. So 2 laps to go for the 544 Frederick Winklebaum. Again, We have to point out here that they stopped with 13 laps to go, 13 or 14 laps to go for the 660. The 660 was 12, and I think the 300 was 13 laps to go. Frederick has more than enough gas to get to the end of this race. The question is, I think we're going to get the white flag. It's not going to matter now as the 544, Frederick Winklebaum, takes the white flag here. The battle on the track right now is going to be for the 5th and 6th and 7th. We'll follow along with your leader down the backstretch for the final time. The 544, Frederick Winklebaum for RP Racing. Trying to come up with his 24th starting position. He's off to turn number 4 for the final time. Your winner here at California is going to be the 544 of Frederick Winklebaum. Checking to see who's going to finish back here. It looks like NM's going to lose that spot to the 47 a dash. But what a race here. What an ending here at California. Let's go through your finishing top 10. Again, your winner is the 544, Frederick Winklebaum. Second's going to be the 660 of Garrett Miller. Third will be the 51 of AJM. Fourth will be the 300 of Resemble. Fifth will be the 29 of Wishbone Attack. Sixth will be the 47 of Dash. Eighth will be the 88 of NM. Ninth will be the 50 of Candy May. Or eighth will be the 50 of Candy May. Ninth will be the 12 of Xander. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 799 of Mike Check. So Mike Check coming up from the 36th starting position to finish 10th here today. Fantastic run for the 799 and the Drop Bear Racing team here today. Man, what a race. Awesome job by that 544, Frederick Winklebaum, and the pit crews for RP Racing and the shop boys putting a great car together for him here today. Next week, we head to the high-speed Texas Motor Speedway for the Texas 125. Should be another amazing race here this season in the More Freedom Series. Let's check in on those current points. Your points leader, the 356, going to finish back in the order. She's going to finish about 17th, so you're seeing those points here on the screen. See who's leading that. Let's also check in on those team and chassis standings. Great day for MBR and the Drop Bear Racing team, and RP Racing is going to get some points finally. So you're seeing those points here on the screen. Can't say it enough. A fantastic job by the 544 Frederick Winklebaum here today. He is your winner. Great job by RP Racing putting together a great car for him here today. And just awesome gas mileage. Able to put himself into position to win the race. And did an awesome job right there at the end to get around the 660 of Garrett Miller, who, again, the bridesmaid. So hopefully maybe next week he wins it. We'll see. But you have to come back next week for the Texas 125 right back here. And until then, take care.